Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. So today we're actually looking at a very special release. So as we all know, Hot Toys released a lot of figures today, including the Iron Man figure, Joker, Colonel Grievous, Black Widow, Iron Spider, and this Darth Vader. So we're going to talk about them one by one, and later I'm also going to make a video discussing all these figures at once. So now back to Darth Vader. This figure is very unexpected since Hot Toys has just released a DX28 Darth Vader from the Kenobi series not long ago, and they will also release the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader probably very soon. So this is another version of Darth Vader, which is like a very heavily battle damaged version. And it's actually a little bit similar to the DX28 in some ways. So they're both DX releases, and this figure also has 4 versions, just like DX28. It has like the standard version, the standard special edition version, the deluxe version, and the deluxe special edition version. So yeah, there's just a lot of versions, and for each version you'll have a different amount of accessories, but the figure is going to look mostly the same. It's just heavily battle damaged, as you can see in the images right here. It's not like the DX28, which the body is looks entirely new. It's just the chest plate and the head sculpt, which is exchangeable. But this time, as you can see, half of his suit is just heavily battle damaged. So if you look closely at the pictures right here, you can see his upper suit is being just torn off a bit, and even his chest plate is being damaged, and his pants are being ripped off, and one of his legs is you can see the cyborg piece right there, and one of his arms is also in the same situation, and his cloak is just flying in that way. I think it's probably just ripped into pieces, so that's why it looks like that. So if you get the deluxe special edition version of this figure, then you'll actually get 3 to 4 individual heads. I think it's probably 3, because the special edition accessory is a damaged mask, so I think it's probably just a mask. They won't really give you another individual head sculpt for that broken piece, because you can see down there, it's just part of the mask. So most of the head sculpt is just gone. You can see part of the face mask, part of the mask, half of the mask remains there. You can see half of his face. I think it's probably just a little mask, and you'll still have to install the head sculpt onto it. So yeah, the other one is the head sculpt. As you can see right here, it just looks very detailed. There's probably the appearance of Hayden Christensen, but it's just pretty ugly since, he's burned on Mustafar like that. He's just roasted by Obi-Wan, and you can see it looks very detailed anyway. So we'll also get another battle damaged head sculpt. It's actually a little bit similar to the DX28 battle damaged head sculpt, but not identical, because you can see it's not, because the broken piece is a little bit smaller than the DX28 version. On the DX28, half of the mask is being torn down, but this one is just the part on the face, but not the one on top. And also you can see the way it's being ripped is also different, and there are more details on the sides compared to the DX28 version. And you'll also get a complete mask, but it's not brand new, because you can see there's some weathering on it, and there's also some scratches and coloring. So it's very detailed, and down there you can see the chest plate is also being just ripped like that. So yeah, I really appreciate Hot Toys, the effort Hot Toys put into designing this brand new Darth Vader, because yeah, you can see a lot of pieces are actually brand new. They just redesigned it, they recarved it, yeah, they actually just put some effort into designing this. And so let's just check more details of this figure. You can see on his body, around his waist, you can still see that belt, and up top you can see his body right there. It's also in that roasted way. It's just heavily injured. And for his legs, you can see his right leg is just brand new, but his left leg is on the upper part of his leg, it's being ripped. Some pieces are ripped, and down there you can see the mechanic leg. You can even see the details of his toes. So it just looks fantastic, and he's just holding his lightsaber like that. Okay, so now let's discuss his head sculpt a little bit further, so you can see there's a lot of scars around his face. I think there are even more details than the DX28 version. It just looks very realistic. Like, it seems like they healed a little bit since the events of DX28, since the scars don't look that fresh anymore. So we can imagine that it's already a bit later after the events of the Kenobi series, and his scars just healed a little bit, but it's impossible to completely heal, so it just looks like that. It might look a little bit nasty to some people, but I personally think that's very impressive. And yeah, you can see even like the lower part of his speaker on the right of the mask, they're like their shape is already like, it seems like they're being burned once again, since they look very different. Well, I never saw this scene, like his outfit like that, in the movie, so I'm not really sure how he became battle damaged like this. I don't know who he fought with, and later he became like that. It's probably, and it might come from the comics as well, since Hot Toys didn't really explain in details like where they're inspired. So I'm not really sure. But if you look at the images right here, well, in my personal opinion, I think he looks the coolest with his half-damaged helmet, with his battle-damaged helmet. Since you can see his face down there, you can appreciate the details by Hot Toys making their head sculpt, like carving the faces, carving the scars, and you can also appreciate the mechanic badass look of his helmet. But if you just simply put on a bald head sculpt on his head, on like right there, I don't think that really looks that good. I don't really look like that. I think it just looks a little bit creepy. It doesn't really look that badass anymore. Some people might think it looks badass, but I think it looks a little bit creepy. So I think I'll just, if I am able to get this figure, then I'll use the battle damaged head sculpt. And yeah, so overall, I think this figure looks very badass, especially in this look. I'm still considering whether I'm going to buy it or not, since Hot Toys has also released a lot of exclusive figures, like the Black Widow rooted hair version, and also the Iron Spider, Artisan, and standard version. So I think I'm probably going to try to purchase a Black Widow and an Iron Spider. So I'm still considering whether I'm going to get this Darth Vader, since I already have the DX28, and I also pre-ordered the Return of the Jedi. So I don't think it's 100% necessary to buy this one if you had those two. But if you're like a huge fan of Darth Vader, I think you could choose to buy it, since it also looks pretty cool, and its outfit is pretty unique, and it also looks pretty badass. Alright, so that's all for this figure. I'm also going to make a video about the Black Widow Iron Spider. And I'm also going to make a video just about all these figures that Hot Toys announced today. And if you're interested, please consider like and subscribe and check out these videos in my channel. And I'll catch you in the next video. Later.